Hello, everyone. This is your host, Cora Dive, bringing you another foray into mythology. Today, we are going to be exploring the search for Osiris. So, gather any materials you might need, and let's get to it. Our cast of characters for this are Astarte, the Queen of Byblos, and the King of Byblos. A serving maid, a servant to Astarte. Sailor, a sailor of Byblos. Isis, the Queen of the gods at this point. Set, a beastly god. Nephthys, the wife of Set. Anubis, a jackal-headed god. Sobek, the crocodile-headed god. Osiris, the husband of Isis. And Wadjit, a cobra goddess. So Astarte, queen of the Phoenician city of Byblos, sat in her seaside palace, looking out over the green waters before her. In her arms, she held her young son, Dictys. Do not cry, my child. The queen looked around the magnificent hall in which she lived, a home renowned through all the land. Her husband had fashioned the central pillar of the hall from a huge tamarisk tree that was so wide of girth and bloomed so lovely that it seemed to be enchanted by the gods themselves. The queen remembered the day that her husband had called her down to the seaside to claim the tree. Here it is, my wife, the tree that has become famous through all of Syria. What do you think? Should we not cut it down and make it part of our home? Certainly. It seems blessed by the gods. Her husband had hoped the blessed tree would in turn bless their home. Instead, tragedy had come. The son Astarte cradled in her arms was growing weaker by the day. Every physician she had consulted had given her the same answer. The child would die. Oh, my son, my son! At that moment, the queen heard some of her serving maids noisily entering the palace from the nearby beach. She laid Dictys in his crib and stalked toward her servants, stern-faced. What is the meaning of this racket? Don't you know my son is ill? When the serving maids beheld the somber face of their queen, they quickly snapped to attention. We're sorry, mistress. We were just down at the seashore, and I know where you were. You thoughtless. The queen paused. She had noticed the hair of the serving maids was twisted into a design, a sight the queen had never seen before. Leaves and flowers were also pinned there. What have you done to your hair? Oh, we beg your pardon, mistress. There was a wise woman down by the shore, and she showed us how to do this art. She called it a braid. It's silly. We apologize. No, it's beautiful. Queen Astarte ran her fingers over the intricate pattern of the braid. Something in it seemed almost magical. Clever. A wise woman did this, you say? From our country? No, I'd never seen her before. She was as old as the waves themselves. Return to the shore and bring this woman to me. I must meet her. The serving maids did as their mistress bade, and soon they returned with a hobbling old woman, clothed modestly in the Egyptian style. Welcome to the land of the Phoenicians, wise woman. I can tell by your dress that you're from the land of Egypt. Might we offer you the hospitality of our home?" The old woman did not respond, but looked silently around the magnificent hall. In its midst, the massive tamarisk pillar supported the roof overhead. The wise woman reached out her withered hand and laid it upon this central pillar. "Yes, I will stay. Here is where I belong." Just then the wailing of the prince filled the hall. The old woman turned with compassionate eyes. "The child is sick." "Yes, and no one can heal him." "Nonsense. Lend me to him." So the Egyptian wise woman became the nurse of the ailing child, and under her care Prince Dictys soon grew well. However, no one could understand exactly how the wise woman had cured him, for they never saw her pay him any special care. "Wise woman, we cannot thank you enough for helping our child to recover. He grows stronger and stronger each day. What is your secret?" "I cannot tell you. Just know this. When I am finished with your son, he will be better than ever." Queen Astarte's curiosity could not rest, and she asked her serving maids about the old woman's methods. "Mistress, all we know is that the woman takes the child into her room alone at night. After this, we hear her build up the fire to a blazing heat, and then we hear the twittering of a swallow." "Magic! I must know." So Queen Astarte hid herself in the wise woman's room one night. Presently she saw the old woman carry the infant prince into the room, bar the door, and heap up the fire. "Child, let me prepare your medicine." When the fire was burning fiercely, the old woman made a glowing red space between logs. "Ah, now it's good and hot. Time for you to go in." Then the old woman took the baby and placed him in the midst of the raging fire. In the blink of an eye, the form of the old woman melted into that of a swallow, its white wings hovering above the flames. "No!" Astarte rushed forward and snatched Dictys out of the fire, only to find that he was quite unharmed by it. In fact, the baby began to cry indignantly at being plucked so suddenly from such a warm and comfortable bed. "What's the meaning of this, you mad woman?" "Mad woman!" The swallow landed and melted back into the form of a goddess. "You are the mad woman! You snatched your child away before I could cure him completely. You would burn my child alive? No, you fool! I am the goddess Isis. Each night I was burning away a bit of his mortality. Eventually he would have been an immortal like me. Yet you snatched him free. He will remain mortal, and someday die like the rest of his kind. Oh, please forgive me. Make my son immortal. We will give you all the riches of our kingdom if you will." "That I cannot do. You spied on me, and I cannot stand spies. But I will make your son well and leave my blessing on you, if you give me the treasure that the great pillar of your hall contains." "The pillar of the hall? Of course. We will give you anything for what you've done for us." Then Queen Astarte told the king all had happened. "Whatever the pillar contains, we will give to the goddess." He sent for his workmen, and the pillar was removed and split open. Isis watched these proceedings with anticipation. Her eyes flashed as the wood fell away to reveal a golden sheen. "Osiris, my love, Within the pillar was the golden casket of Osiris, her husband. The goddess turned to the king. Have this coffin borne down to the seashore for me. Your people are great sailors, are they not? Yes, our ships are known the world over. Then fashion me a boat to carry home this coffin. We will send you skillful sailors to pilot it for you, too. When the sailors had lifted the coffin free, Isis poured perfume on what remained of the wooden pillar. Place this in your most sacred temple, and it will bring pilgrims to Byblos for many ages. Everyone will know that this wood held the body of a god. So the people of Byblos built a temple in which they set the wooden pillar. Now, I must depart this place, and I leave you with my blessing. Isis went down to the sea, where the king's servants had set the coffin on a mighty ship. She boarded and commanded the sailors to embark from those shores. As they sailed back across the sea toward Egypt, she stood ever at the coffin's side, her hand resting upon its jeweled lid. Oh, my husband. Oh, my husband, our scheming brother Set has tried to destroy you and hide you from me. Many months I searched for you, but at last we are united. I will return you home and see you buried in the proper manner. When the ship of Isis passed into the mouth of the river Phaedros, the river's current flowed so strongly that it started to drive the ship out to sea. What is the matter? Are we drifting out to sea? Stay close to the mainland. Forgive us, it's the river. It's pushing us off course. Well, we will see about that. Isis' anger lashed out, and she cursed the river. The sailors stared in shock as the waters of the river stopped flowing before their very eyes. You do not contest the will of Isis. Press on. When the ship was sailing smoothly toward Egypt once again, Isis made a command. Leave me, all of you. I require privacy. So all the sailors left her presence, except one who was curious to see what she would do. Thinking she was unwatched, Isis turned to the coffin of her husband. My love, let me gaze upon your face. She pried up the coffin lid, yet, as she did, she felt the presence of the sailor. You fool! She turned toward him with her fiery glance, one awful look of anger. The sailor fell dead upon the deck of the ship. The rest of the voyage, the sailors lived in dread of the mighty goddess and were careful to follow her every order. When they reached the Egyptian shore, Isis gave the sailors precise coordinates for where to land and unload the body of her husband. Now, mortals, row home to Byblos as swiftly as you can. She even sent a wind to help them on their way. The ship sped away like a feather on the breeze. Well, now we are home, my love. The Nile flows before us. It's time for you to meet our son. Wajit, Wajit. At this summons, a scaly form appeared in the waters of the Nile. It was the cobra-headed goddess, Wajit. Isis, your son is still safe with me. Do you wish to see him? He is hidden in the reeds just up at the river. Take me to him. I will leave the coffin of Osiris here. It should be safe for just one night. Then tomorrow I can perform the burial rites. However, It was not wise of Isis to delay, for beast-faced Set and his followers had been scouring the earth, seeking for her return. And it was the hours of darkness that suited them best. Their dark forms prowled across the earth on a nightly hunt for any sign of Isis. Set stopped and sniffed, his forked tail swishing gleefully behind him. "Oh, what's this I smell? The scent of Isis on the wind. Where she is, the body of my brother is not far behind." Ow! Set followed the scent, which led him to the place where Isis had placed the golden coffin of Osiris. "Ah, another present, all wrapped up for me." Set tore open the coffin, revealing the corpse of Osiris. "Brother, still dead, I see. But even death is too good for you. I want you lost forever." With a great howl of rage and hate, Set snatched the body of his murdered brother out of the chest and violently tore it into 14 different pieces. Then, with the pieces of the corpse still in his hands, he turned to his followers. "Scatter these pieces across the earth so that Isis can never give Osiris a proper burial. Let him never find honor, even in the next world." Arr! "I've kept his spirit from passing into the Duat." As Set and his followers disappeared into the darkness, Isis was awakened by their faraway howls. "It can't be." Still cradling her child in her arms, Isis ran to where she had left the coffin of Osiris, only to find it plundered and empty. "Osiris, Osiris, no! What have I done? All is lost." Broken-hearted, she turned to plunge into the darkness, but two misty forms blocked her path. "Who goes there?" The figures stepped forward. One was a regal woman wearing an elaborate headdress. The other was a young man with the head of a jackal. They were Nephthys and Anubis, the wife and son of Set. "What are you two doing here? Has the family of Set come to gloat over the family of Osiris?" "Please, sister, we're here to help." "Don't you call me sister. Your brother murdered my husband. Your brother." "That is true. But then you left. You did not know that as soon as I learned of what Set had done to Osiris, I left his side. I've not seen him since." "And what about your son here? He seems to resemble his beastly father, a dog if I ever saw one." "Noble goddess, your words are unkind. Please do not judge me by my father. He has no respect for the dead that I watch over. He has my husband torn into bits and scattered him across the world. Yes, he has perfect revenge. My husband cannot find rest, even in the Duat." The jackal eyes of Anubis grew sorrowful. "Noble queen, it's my job to welcome the Ka of the departed in the underworld. I take their hearts into my hand and weigh them. Those who have done good deeds are rewarded. Those who have not are punished. All the gods knew your husband's heart, his kindness. I hope to one day reward him in the underworld. I will help you search for him." "It's impossible." Anubis touched his jackal snout. "Not with a nose like this. Allow me to act as your guide." "Thank you. I'm sorry for doubting your loyalty. Set has proven himself to be the enemy of all that is good. We must all band together to defeat him." Once again, Isis bade her infant son Horus goodbye. She laid his falcon head against her own and cried tears of remorse. "I will return to you, son, as soon as your father knows rest." Wajit welcomed Horus back into her coils. "He is secure with me. I will watch over him as well." "Shall we depart, my queen?" "Yes, let us proceed." Led by Anubis, Isis began her search anew, fading into the darkness of the Nile riverbank. As they departed, they did not notice a pair of lurking eyes sticking up just above the surface of the water. They were protruding eyes of a submerged hippopotamus, Set in disguise. "Oh, go, you fools, go on your vain search. In the meantime, I will steal from you what you value most." Set's form rose from the water, taking on a more deadly shape and heading for his newest target, the sleeping infant Horus. Meanwhile, guided by the jackal-like senses of Anubis, who could smell death and decay miles away, Isis tracked down the scattered pieces of Osiris's body, one by one. "Here's his hand, noble queen. Let us search on for the next piece." "No, we must bury it here." "But Osiris will not be whole. It's only his hand." "I will use my magic to create an enchanted form of Osiris, attach his hand, and bury it here. We will do the same with each piece we find. Will this not satisfy the requirements of the next life?" "I see. Yes, it will. And this will prevent someone from desecrating his body again. He will be buried, but no one will know where the whole of his body lies." In each far-flung locale where a piece of the body was found, Isis performed the same ritual, burying a replica of her husband. Even to this day, many places claim to be the true burial place of Osiris, and they're all correct. Finally, they had tracked down each piece of Osiris except one. However, Anubis soon found the scent. They commandeered a papyrus canoe and took it far up the Nile River. Then suddenly the trail went cold. "This is odd. I smell a bit of your husband, but now it's gone. Let me think." Anubis stared down into the Nile waters. Dark forms were passing below them. "Wait a moment. Sobek! Sobek, show yourself." Some timid bubbles were their only answer. "Come on, you leathery coward. Don't make me come down there. I am with Isis, the queen of the gods." The anger of Isis was legendary. No sooner had these words been spoken than a log popped up to the surface. Then the log opened its yellow eyes. "Queen Isis, meet Sobek." The crocodile face grinned hesitantly at the queen and raised its human body up from the water. "Queen Isis, welcome to our waters." "Greetings, Lord of the Nile. I am in search of my husband, or parts of him at least." "Oh, really? I'd not heard. Are you looking for any part of him in particular?" Not that I've seen any parts." The crocodile god's stomach gurgled loudly. "Liar, you ate the last piece of him, didn't you?" "Definitely not.
Sobek, how could you?"
"What am I supposed to do? There's a perfectly good bit of flesh floating in the water, I snap it up. I have these animal instincts, you know."
"Once a croc, always a croc." The fiery anger of Isis began to ignite as the queen rose in her canoe. Sobek shrank down into the water.
"How dare you!" Wait, my queen, wait. Have mercy. Is it a crime to eat a bit of meat? I'll make it up to you. I promise. I'll keep my crocodiles from hampering your journey. They are a deadly lot."
He's right, my queen. That would make our journey much faster. Very well, but I declare whoever has eaten a piece of my husband is forever cursed. Well, that's fair, I suppose. I think I'm getting indigestion already. So, Isis spared Sobek her wrath. Even to this day, the crocodiles of the Nile will not bother a papyrus boat, for they think it's Isis still searching for Osiris. Oh, that's a lesson learned. Just because there's tasty treats in the water, don't snap it up. Well, I'd best be going. Halt! The last piece of Osiris is missing. He cannot rest with it unburied. Oh, yeah, that's a real shame. See you later, alligator. Wait, Sobek. I know you're a great healer. Is there some way you can help Isis with your secret knowledge? It's the least you can do for snacking on a bit of her husband. Yes, for eating a bit of meat? Fine. They drew their canoe up onto an island, and Sobek assisted them in a forgotten spell. Now, let's see. I bet that missing piece looks something like this. Not that I know. With Sobek's help, Isis recreated the final missing piece of Osiris and performed the final rite that would give her husband passage into the next life. Yes, now the rituals are complete. Good. Now I'm off to slink into the shallows. Been real. The croc god nodded to Anubis. See you around, dog. After a while, crocodile. Ignoring Sobek's departure, Isis was anxiously waiting and watching the spot where she had buried the final piece of her husband in the soft earth. Did it work? If only there was some way to know. Suddenly, green wisp of mist rose up from the riverside ground, solidifying into the form of Osiris. His skin was sickly green, his body was wrapped with strips of cloth, and his head bore his white domed crown. Osiris smiled when he beheld his wife. Isis, my love, you've restored me. You've risked so much to bring me back. There were tears in the goddess's eyes. Only temporarily, my love. Even with all my moon magic, I cannot bring you permanently back to life. The very best I can do is allow you to pass beneath the earth in peace. That's enough. Osiris turned to Anubis, who knelt before him. Thank you, Judge of the Dead. I will be seeing you soon, I think, in your own land. Know this. Although your father has betrayed me, I hold you no ill will. King Osiris, when I hold your heart in my hand, I know that it will be the lightest I will ever weigh. Osiris nodded, and his eyes shone with a far-off light. I leave this world, for now. Yet I know one day I will return. I will face my brother again and defeat him once and for all. He turned toward Isis. Thank you, my wife. Farewell. The green vision of Osiris sank back into the earth, and so he passed into the Duat. There he became king of the dead, welcoming all those whom the judges of the dead found worthy to enter his kingdom. These worthy warriors were added to his army of the blessed, with whom he will return to reign on earth after the last great battle was ceased. Well, that is done. Let us return to my son. Isis and Anubis journeyed for miles back down the Nile to the reedy patch where she had hidden her son. Yet as they drew close, Anubis began to sniff the air. I smell venom on the breeze. We must hurry. From afar, Isis could see that something was wrong. Wajit was weeping, cradling the still form of Horus in her coils. Nephthys was there weeping over the child as well. Horus, what has happened? Oh, Isis, right after you left, an enemy attacked. A huge scorpion stung Horus. I know it must have been my husband in disguise. Isis looked frantically at her shivering son. Anubis felt his feeble body, examining the baby with his clever fingers. He will live. Somehow he has survived this attack. There's great strength in him. Set will not stop until he's destroyed all our family. I must face him. No, he'll destroy you for challenging him. He's too powerful. He has this frightened almost all the other gods into siding with him. I must go, but not as myself. Please, sister, lend me your form. My form? I told you I left him in anger when I learned that he had murdered Osiris. Please, it's the only way. Very well. I guess you know what you're doing. The two sisters touched their foreheads together, and their forms melted into one and reformed into the opposite. Isis now stood in the likeness and regal headdress of Nephthys. Please, Anubis, lead me once again, only this time to your father. So jackal-formed Anubis rode Isis into the dark realm, where his father kept his secret sanctuary. From a long distance off, Set saw her approach and chuckled to himself. My wife! I knew you'd not stay mad at me forever. Come back, welcome back, my sweet. I have missed your caresses. I will take you back if you beg. Of course, I will have to punish you for leaving me. If you lay a finger on her, down boy. If I need your opinion, I'll beat it out of you. Now, get out of here. This is between your mother and me. Isis stepped out of the shallow boat and bowed before Set. Please forgive me, noble husband. I was just frightened by your show of power over Osiris, so I fled. Well, understandable. My power is frightening, isn't it? But now I'm troubled. What if you grew jealous of my son and tried to kill him as well? Set glanced at Anubis in the boat behind her. I'd never kill your son. He's mine too. Please, swear to me, Set. Promise me that my son will one day sit on your throne and that you'll do nothing to harm him. Swear it by the power of Amun-Ra. Ah, fine, fine. I swear it by Amun-Ra. With this promise delivered, Isis threw her head back and laughed. What's wrong with you, woman? You fool! You pledged away all your plans. What? I'm not your wife. I'm Isis, and you've sworn that my son, Horus, will succeed you. Your first plan to harm him failed, and you've sworn never to harm him again. No! Well, fortunately, I didn't make the same promise about you. Set lunged at his sister, but Isis transformed into the shape of a swallow and winged herself away. Oh, I guess she showed you, didn't she, Father? Hear me, Isis. Tell your son to take care. I will find a way to destroy him, as I did his father. Back on the Nile, Wajit, the cobra goddess, and Nephthys heard the faraway call of a swallow. And soon white-feathered Isis settled upon the bank beside them and returned to her true human form. Set is defeated, for now. How's my son? This child's amazing to survive so much poison. Isis took the falcon-faced boy up into her arms He squawked a bit as mother's embrace as she carried him away from the others. Come here, Horace. She put her lips near his ear. I will speak a name that I have never told another living soul. It is the true name of Ra. My Ka will double whisper it to your Ka. Then you will know and grow. You will grow up to be a mighty king and one day avenge the death of your father. Then Isis, Queen of Heaven, leaned over and whispered the secret name into the ears of Horus, her son. Even more strength flowed into his body, and from that day forward, his destiny was sealed. Well, what's going to happen next time? Well, we're going to find out. This is your host, Cora Dive, signing off for now.